Well, hello. We are live. Is that a good radio voice?
It is a
That's
great
good.
radio voice.
Hi, everyone. Well, thanks for tuning in to our live broadcast, which we did not advertise anywhere that we were doing a live today. That's our new approach.
Love it.
We just don't tell anybody.
So mysterious.
But I think a lot of so this is on my personal account. Hey, everybody, this is Vee, by the way.
Hi, everyone.
Vee is our senior account manager. Badass. Vee is short for Virginie.
That's right.
Because your real name is Virginie.
Yeah.
Why don't you use Virginie? Is it hard for Americans to pronounce?
It is very hard for Americans to pronounce, or any English speaker is very hard to pronounce. And I was renamed V a few years ago, about 10 years ago. So to French-speaking people, I go by V.
By V.
Yeah, just one syllable. It's great.
How do you feel about Virginia? Do you like that name?
I don't.
Because Americans and English-speaking Canadians will probably call you Virginia.
I know.
Like the ham.
Yeah. But you know what? It's interesting. But it's Virginia. Virginia is not my name, so I'd rather being called V over Virginia.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Vivi?
Vivi is all you can. You're the only one that can call me like that.
Okay. All right. And we also have Kyler on board. Kyler, how are you, man?
Doing good. It's a
Good.
little dark over here, but doing fine.
So do our viewers see you when you speak, or do we only hear your voice?
They see me through a webcam, so not as good quality, crisp like you guys, but they see and they hear me as well.
Okay.
Apparently Slack too.
Because before we wouldn't see you, we would only hear you. So like you say to kids, what do people say to kids? I don't want to see you or hear you, or you should be seen, not heard. Okay, whatever. I'm sorry. You're doing great. So how are you? So V, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Yeah. So it's nice to see you in the office today.
Thank you.
So you normally work remotely since March 2020.
Yeah.
And I guess you're coming back every couple of weeks now.
I am.
That's cool.
Yeah.
One day every couple of weeks.
Yeah.
For now.
Yes.
That's sort of a little transition.
There you go.
I think most people in our company are doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of transitioning slowly to the office once or twice a week. So that seems like it's going to be the new norm.
I think so.
Am I right?
Yeah, I think so. But I would say that, once you get to the office, you're like, I forgot about how cool it was. So it makes you want more. So, yeah, I think that everyone should go, at their own pace. But yeah, as you said, I think it's going to be the new norm. But yeah, being in the office is great.
Yeah, it is. I personally come to the office every day, but I can understand how people, especially software developers, I can understand how they can say, you know what, no, I'm more productive at home. I don't have to spend an hour each way in traffic coming to the office. This is an old story, right? Mm-hmm. So it seems to be going very well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you have a new addition at home? You have a little puppy?
I do have a little puppy.
Yeah. Do you find that's making it harder to come to the office too?
No, actually, it does give me a little break. But but she's getting old enough now, so I'll be able to come to take her with me to the office.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
We're a dog-friendly company. We allow dogs, cats. Kyler, do we allow cats? Can you check? Go on. I'm not sure if we allow cats. I think there's some cat allergies in the company, but I'm not sure.
I'm allergic to cats. So,
Oh, okay. So you don't have to check Slack then. Yeah. So what happens if someone brings a cat today? What happens to you? Do you die?
No.
I know this is riveting. Pardon?
I just get a stuffy nose and I can't really see out of my eyes. But
Okay.
no death, just,
Okay, so you don't die though.
no
Death.
Okay. So I'm sure the cats can accept that he can't see and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, with any type of allergy, pills. I'm allergic to cats too. So yeah.
Are you allergic to cats?
Yeah, I am,
Oh,
but not
wow.
to dogs. So yeah.
You know, I'm allergic to manual labor. I have to take Benadryl when I'm doing anything. All right. So this is great. Do we have anyone tuning in, Kyler, before we move on?
About 20 people tuning in so far. Yeah, and a couple likes. No comments
Nice.
quite yet, but
Did
yeah.
we advertise? In all seriousness, did we advertise that this was going to happen? Wasn't there like a thumbnail circulating around with our picture on it, or was that?
We did not advertise this actually. We
And there's 20 people. That's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
That's more than you ever see live on LinkedIn? There's often not a lot of people watching. However, it's great content. We get a lot of content from these videos.
Yeah.
But a lot of times my connections, I tune into their lives, and there's not that many people watching.
Yeah.
But the videos, oh, cool. But the videos that come out of it, though, I think a lot of people watch. So it's still awesome to go live on LinkedIn. I think.
Yeah, of course.
Is this your first live, V?
No, I've done a few already. But
Okay.
I was it's first time in the studio though.
Oh,
So,
this
yeah.
is the show.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
the real show.
Webcam stuff
Yeah.
and Zoom. That's like that leads up. This is center ice right now. This
Yeah.
is where it's happening.
Yeah, and it's great. Oh my god, because
Yeah.
that all happened during the pandemic and when no one was working here. So
Yeah.
it's looking really good.
Yeah, the studio's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah,
So you're the senior account manager at SimplyPHP.
I am.
And I think I would like. I know I didn't really give you that much warning of what we were going to talk about, but you did prepare some stuff.
Yeah.
I wanted to, for my own education and for anyone watching too, potential clients, existing clients, I wanted to talk about Jira, because I know that we implemented Jira company-wide. Thankfully, I'm so happy that this was done. Are you happy that this was done?
This was a huge relief. February
Yeah.
2020. This was massive and it went really well as well.
It was February 2020. Are you sure?
Oh,
Not
yeah.
2021?
2021.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Sorry.
I was going to say, I didn't think
Are
it
we
was
still in
pre-COVID.
2020? Yeah, 2021.
Because we had gone through we had gone through a couple of ticketing systems. We developed our own ticketing system, but it seemed like the whole world was on Jira. It seemed to be the industry standard. And whenever I would see screenshots of Jira, I would say, oh God, that looks so like effective and awesome. So we finally decided, let's go with Jira. So how does Jira, I don't know where to start, I guess, because I know that you use it for, project management. I know that you use it for employee time logging, time log reports for our clients.
Yeah.
So even our staff augmentation system. So how is Jira used? So let's say there's a potential client out there and he's saying, okay, I want to work with SimplyPHP. By the way, if I'm not mistaken, most of our new clients are already on Jira. Is that true?
It depends because all of our clients have tailored services. So we have to be super adaptable, but some of our clients are on Jira. So some of our clients already use a ticketing system, but some that do not, we invite them over to our Jira account.
Okay, so let's say a client has their own ticketing system that is not Jira. Let's say it's Basecamp.
Yep.
Is that still happening?
I think so.
Yeah, I know that was big back in the day. Probably is. What's another ticketing system?
Trello?
Oh, Trello.
Yeah.
Thank you. So if they're on Trello, obviously our resources will go into their Trello, which is obviously, we're not going to say, no, you got to work with SimplyPHP, you got to use Jira. But let's say that a client doesn't use a ticketing system. Okay, so how would that work? we would kind of transition them into, we would give them a username and password. They would come on board and
Yeah. So they're actually part of our team as soon as they join Jira. So yeah, it's very simple to set up. So you can use the web app. So you receive an email to join the team. Click on the link, and then you have access to your own project. So that way, it's very clear because all of the Jira tickets are separated on different cards, and our workflow is extremely simple as well. So a client that has never worked as part of a software development project can clearly see the tasks that are outstanding, the tasks that are in the backlog, the tasks that are in progress on staging, what is left, what they have to test, and also they can go ahead and all the communication as well happens in Jira too.
Okay, but let me ask you something. So let's start from the beginning now. Because if a client doesn't have Jira, then they might not even be sure what Jira even does, right? So is it a task management system or a ticket managing system? Like walk us through what does Jira even do?
Okay, so there are people everywhere in the world that their role is their Jira administrator. So I am not a Jira administrator, and
keep it basic.
Exactly, and we've only been using it since February 2021. So what I'm going to say may not be right, but the way that we use Jira.
That's what I'm interested in. I'm interested in the way that we use Jira. Yeah. So that you should probably be good at, right? Okay.
So it is a ticketing system, but it goes beyond that as well, where we can actually split our work in different iterations or in different. So let's say.
Oh, nice. Yeah. So different phases.
Exactly, different phases, and you can clearly see that in the roadmap that we work on.
Can we put something on the screen that we can see?
Of course.
Kyler, can you can you randomly find something that you can put on the screen? No, it's not random. We had this set up.
So I did set up a fake project, but this is pretty much what.
Yeah, because we can't really show clients Jira, right? That's private. So this is a fake. Excuse me. Yeah.
It is, yeah. So it's just for example, just to put people in context.
Yeah.
And so this is what a Jira board looks like at SimplyPHP, right? So
okay, nice.
So when you click on board where Kyler is right now, you have different different statuses, and this is what we use across all of our projects at Simply. So
we have a to-do column, blocked. Okay, so to-do, obviously we know what that is.
Yep.
Blocked is, okay, I'll let you explain what blocked is.
Okay, so blocked is, let's say, I'm working on something, and then for example, bug number 1, ticket ZTP14, I can't replicate it. So that's why I'm blocked. So I need to ask the client to give me more information or to provide the steps that the client did exactly, so we can try to replicate in different environment that bug.
Awesome. So the client's saying, look, when I click on this and that, this bug is happening.
Yeah.
And when we do it, it's working as expected, as normal.
Yeah.
So that's when you put it into a blocked issue.
There you go.
Is there any other time it would be in blocked?
Yep. So let's say that I'm working on any type of feature. Let's say that I'm working on a payment system, and then I've worked on creating all of the fields, for example, but there's something else that is blocked. Like I can't create all of these fields because there are some dependencies, and I have to move over to that other feature before I can finish that field. So that's what it means that I'm blocked. I cannot finish that requirement because I have to work on something else before I can address that feature.
Gotcha. So anything that would cause a developer to say, hey, I was working on this, but I've hit a roadblock and I cannot fix it myself. I need help from either you, Vee, because it could be a business question too.
Yeah.
I need help from the client. I need help from a sysadmin.
Yeah.
Because we have 2 sysadmins at SimplyPHP. This is my advertising part. We have 2 full-time sysadmins at SimplyPHP. So that's why it's super important if they get blocked and it's server issue,
Yeah.
they don't have to create a ticket with some third party. They just knock on one of and our sysadmins are here every day, by the way, in the office. Not that they have to be, but okay, that's cool. In progress.
In progress, pretty self-explanatory.
Does that mean that whatever's in there is what the person is currently? Okay, so this is V, right? So because I see your icon there, so that means you have a ticket that's in progress.
Yeah, that's right. So when you are the only developer working on a project, you shouldn't have more than one ticket in progress, right? And that's also another instance where you would be in progress onto the feature, but you become blocked because you have to work on something else. So you would have to take that ticket and move it back over to blocked. So these cards are really easy to navigate between, all of these statuses. They're drag and drop.
Oh, they're drag and drop.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell those guys to keep it down a little bit, Kyler?
Yeah.
Just, it's always, anytime we have a live, we have it at noon. And it's noon, right? So if there's people in the office, they're like, the lunch room is right next door.
Yeah.
So it's kind of Murphy's Law. I think there's a big delivery, right? I hear things being unwrapped and a dolly and a forklift is going to come in next. Okay. Oh, by the way, when this is on the screen, Kyler, and then we start talking, do you cut to us or do you just leave that on the screen?
Cut to you.
Oh, wow.
So if you guys are talking,
This guy's
I will
good.
cut to you. If you're
That's really
pointing at
cool.
the screen or you're talking about something that they need to see,
Yeah.
then we'll switch to the actual screen there.
All right. Awesome. So have you ever seen more than one ticket in the in progress column?
I have.
Is that a problem with people like not managing their Jira properly, like having several things open and all of that stuff?
Well, we try to make sure that it doesn't happen because we meet with our devs every day across all of our projects. So we try to make sure that it doesn't happen. But then sometimes, you have to have, it does happen that, you have two tickets that are in progress as well because you're kind of just working both on these features at the same time. So there's always a gray area, but we try as much as possible to keep only one ticket in the in progress column. But if you are 2 developers, 3 developers, 4 developers working on the project, you'll have more tickets in the in progress as well.
That's great that's super awesome I just said super awesome. That's really great for a client or any type of manager to come in here and see, okay, who's working on what?
Yeah.
Is there anything that's blocked? Like the first thing I would do is go into the blocked issue and say, okay, is this something that, has been blocked for a long time?
Yeah.
Just so you can not micromanage, but kind of follow up on some stuff and just not have any surprises. For me, this is the biggest thing as a company owner or C-level executive manager, whatever. To me, this is a way not to get surprised about anything. All right, as long as it's up to date properly.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're working hard on keeping it up to date. Yeah, it's very important to us. I mean, this is, as you said, like it is. We are providing transparency to our clients by using Jira. So that's the reason why we try to keep it as to keep it as updated as we can.
Nice. And these are drag and drop. So like if I have something that's blocked, well, you know what? Yeah, perfect. Nice.
Yeah.
Let's finish the columns, I think, and then I might ask you a couple things about assigning tickets to people and all of that stuff. So in progress, that's pretty good. So staging 2 issues, approved in staging, and then approved in staging production. Okay, staging.
So I'm done finishing working on my feature. So I moved it over to staging. Usually staging is the queue. Okay, client, you're ready to go test. So on your plate, you have feature number 2 and feature number 3 to test.
Okay.
And then what we would do, so the client would go on staging on the testing environment. make sure that feature 2 and 3 is working as expected. If it is not working as expected, Kyler, if you just want to click on feature 2 there. So that's, the description. Usually there is a description in the description box there.
Okay.
But just underneath there and under activity, you have the comment section. So the client is, invited to provide all of, what is not working, or they cannot. There you go. Or they can they can say, yes, this feature is approved. So that way, we keep all the conversations centralized into the ticket.
Okay. That's pretty simple. So basically, if I go and test, I say, okay, looks good, except, there's one little thing, or actually, doesn't work at all.
Yeah.
Then you put your notes there, your comments there.
Yeah.
And then I guess do you assign it to someone, or how does that work after?
So they can just say approved in staging. And as I said, we keep a very close eye. So in the morning, we check what was approved in staging, or usually, the client will be just talking as well and say, hey, Vee, I tested feature 2 and 3. So they're approved. So when we know that it's approved in staging, we can go ahead and kind of just drag and drop that ticket over to approved in staging. And that is a call for us. Okay, so we're now ready to schedule a date to deploy these features over to the production environment.
Yeah, that's nice. So we'll know all of the features that are approved in staging.
Yep.
They'll all be there in that column. But now if there is something that you're not happy about, or it's not working as expected, or there's another bug or whatever, then you make your comments and then you put it into, scroll a little bit left, Kyler. I think is it bug, the first column or something? No, I'll let you.
So you're right, Tony. So if, for example, feature number 2 was not, in this case, feature 3 was didn't pass the test, it would go back into the to-do column.
Okay, cool. So I would make my comments in it. And I'll say, hey, this is actually not working as expected, or it is, but if you can just do this, tweak it or improve it.
Yeah.
I'll send it back to do.
Yeah.
I'll assign it to whomever.
Yeah.
They assign to the developer, I guess, right? Or the manager?
Yeah, usually it's assigned to the developers.
The developers, yeah.
All the way through.
I'm glad no one's following my life on Jira, because I would have a lot of little tickets in progress, right? Like if you look on the top of my desk, I have about 5 or 6 unfinished things that I'm working on.
You'll get there.
Yeah. Are some people? Do you have to follow up on how this looks beautiful, right? This Jira looks great.
Yeah.
Do people actually use it? Is it something that everyone is really, really plugged into?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, because before our ERP, what we have created for in-house development, was great for what we needed at that time. But now, SimplyPHP has grown a lot, which is great.
Yeah.
So we needed something that, people really wanted to use as well. And we found that the responsiveness, and everyone is really keeping their task up to date. And everyone is really collaborating within Jira as well. So it's been a great tool, and our clients as well. Really, it does reduce the amount of back and forth, email back and forth that you have with the clients too, because all of the communications happen in Jira, right? So we can keep track as well of how, because that's what happens usually in software development. We start with an idea, and then this feature becomes something else and something else and something else and something else, and then something that we thought was going to take 1 day is now taking 3 days, and we're like, oh, what happened? Oh, well, we did change this, we did change that as well, so we can keep track of the changes that happen in that feature on the ticket.
Yeah, I think that's great. That's great news that since we moved to Jira, people enjoy using it more.
Yeah.
Because it would be unfortunate if we had this awesome tool and then people were not really using it, or just updating it on Friday afternoon or something like that. That would kind of suck.
Well, this is my baby, right?
Yeah.
So everyone has to use it. So
Yeah, I remember. You were the.
I fought for this for a long time. So that's why. And the thing is, there was not much resistance as well. Everyone was really stoked to move over to Jira and to use it. So
Nice.
I didn't have to push that hard.
That's great. That's great.
So, what was then like? Could you specify the biggest benefits in switching over to Jira and for Simply?
For Simply, I think that given providing that level of transparency to our clients as well has been extremely beneficial, because that's something that we pride ourselves on doing at Simply. And also for our developers too, because when you do software development, it can get really messy real quick. So it really keeps the house and all projects super organized. So that is one of the massive benefits. But another one as well, which is called a roadmap. That's something that Jira offers as well. So if you click on roadmap over there, that's kind of where we do our iterations. So iterations is
this is nice.
So you'll know that in a period of like 2.5 weeks or 2 weeks in this case, we will be working on these tasks. So you can keep track of that, and you can also do some export, and it's very easy to kind of just send that export to our clients too. So our clients do know what's coming up this week, next week, and the weeks to come as well.
Very, very cool. So now that what color is that? I'm colorblind. Is that purple or blue or something?
Purple.
So that purple bar that Kyler has his hand on, that is a result of estimates or timelines that are inputted into the various tickets?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Man, I would love this if I was a client. This is great. So obviously the bigger projects, I know this is a test.
Yep.
Obviously, you I guess a real project would have a lot more stuff going on.
Oh yeah, for sure. And they do change, roadmaps do change quite a lot too, because and that's kind of the reason why majority of our projects, we don't work using rigorous agile, because our client needs this level of flexibility, because their business priorities change quite often too. So we need to be able to be adaptable to their needs. Hence why we use iterations instead of sprints. So that's why it kind of just allows us to move tasks around quickly and reshuffle priorities pretty simple, without going through like this whole sprint process that I'm not going to get into.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, it's been great for our clients, but also for our devs to kind of keep track of what's next has been extremely helpful to them too.
Yeah, that's fantastic. We got to get some of these. I don't know if we have any of these screenshots on our website. We may.
Of Jira?
Yeah, because I think we were gonna. That was like I think it was someone's idea, maybe mine.
I recall.
I said, hey, it would be great to get some screenshots of Jira on our website when we're talking about. Go on services. Wait, no, sorry, don't move. About industries. Yeah, go on services for a moment. Go down. Project-based, anything Jira, technologies, no. Go down a little bit more. Let's talk. Industries, giving back, about us. No, I guess not. It might be something to do. Because I think it would be cool, like to say how we manage tickets and have a little, some screenshots of some awesome, Jira in action type of stuff.
Yeah.
Can we go back to the Jira, please, Kyler? So I'm going to ask you about time log and time reports that our clients get on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
But before I do that, do you want to talk about anything else on the left there, like backlog, board, code deployments, project pages?
Anything that's beneath code is all developer related. So
Okay.
there's nothing really to go over. But just quickly, code and deployment is that, in fact, we do. I believe that you spoke about code repositories.
Yeah. GitHub, GitLab.
Yeah, exactly. recently. So
Yeah.
we connect our tickets to the code repository. So
Of course we do.
so that's great.
That
so
is
it's very
amazing.
easy for a dev to know, okay, well, this is the branch that I'm working on
Yeah.
equals that ticket. So that's something that we have implemented a few weeks ago. So that's because the thing is with Jira, it's such a monster. So it takes time to set up. But this is finally done.
Yeah, we've worked with a lot of clients that have that already set up, obviously.
Yeah.
That's a kind of like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
You got to have your code repository is actually, or Jira is linked to your code repository.
That's right. Yeah.
So that you could actually, I don't know how that works, but.
So for example, like if a bug happened in May 2020 and it does re-happen on May 2021, so it's very easy to trace back because we're like, oh, okay, that happened. So you look for the ticket over in Jira, and then you can see exactly the branch that you were working on at that time.
Oh, nice.
So you know exactly what the solution of the fix was.
And your comments at that time,
Yeah.
you can go back there and say, what was I doing? Oh, yeah,
There
that's
you
what I
go.
was
And then
doing.
sometimes
Yeah.
it can take up to 3, 4 weeks, 5 weeks to fix an issue. So you
Yeah.
cut on a lot of time
Yeah.
because all of that conversation happened within that ticket there. So that's
Yeah.
a benefit. And you don't have to go through all of your branches. So yeah, you do save a lot of time. by
Very
doing
cool.
that.
Yeah, very cool. I think there was a time. Actually, I'll let you continue. I'm sorry. I don't want to get off track here.
Oh, no, that's fine. And project pages, it's nothing. Checklist is nothing.
Okay.
And timesheet is nothing either.
Okay. So, yeah, don't click on timesheets probably, right? Because it's going to open up timesheets.
Yeah, but I don't think there, like, this is a demo account, so I don't think that there is anything there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So now the new subject is time logs,
Yeah.
timesheets. So we we have our people log their time. So they log their time in Jira.
Yeah.
All right. And then every week, so whatever we do from Monday to Friday for a client, whether it's full 40 hours or 8 hours or whatever, they get the following Monday, they get a full timesheet
Yeah.
report.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So what they will see on that report, so for example, that we worked 40 hours for a client, the client will receive the name of the feature that was worked on, and as well as the description, the date of the time that of us working on that feature with the description and how much time we spent on that feature as well.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So that's even in a staff augmentation situation,
Yeah.
they get those reports. That would be fun if they're using a couple of different companies and then SimplyPHP sends them those reports every Monday and all of that stuff, and the other companies don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
That makes us stand out. I love that.
Yeah, again, it's all about staying transparent, and I
yeah.
love that we walk the talk, because a lot of companies say that, but
Yeah.
it's not reflective of their operations. But to us, it's extremely important, and our timesheet reports as well as Jira is what it is, right? In daily communication with our clients too.
Yeah. See, that's funny, because as you're explaining that to me, I'm remembering, like, because it's over a decade that we're in business, right? So I'm remembering the way that we used to work, like 5-6 years ago or 10 years ago, where we would not share any timesheets with anyone, and we would send the invoice at the end of the 30-day cycle. And then, the client would be just surprised and not aware of what was happening. So that's why we implemented this system of every single week. Not only do you have access, obviously, to Jira, because the clients all have access to their Jira.
Yeah.
Not only do you have access, but you also get a report every Monday.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep.
That's really,
Yeah,
really
we've
cool.
come a long way. And I think
Yeah.
that, even recently when we moved over to logging our time into Jira, there were some things before that we were, the time spent, I think, on each feature was not, or it, yeah, I don't think.
Oh, we didn't have the capability to show it.
Yeah,
So
there
it
was a
was
limitation there.
It was a bit
Yeah.
vague.
Yeah, that's right. But now it's very clear.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Oh yeah, it was like, Monday to Friday, 40 hours.
40 hours.
Development stuff.
And the description stuff. Now you have the description and the task title and the time spent.
Yeah.
So that's definitely something that, we change all the time, right? And that's what I love about us, is because we listen to, our clients and we deliver to that. So
that's the only way to go. We find out that's the only way to go, because there's less yelling.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I have to deal with the yelling, and there hasn't been much yelling happening lately,
No,
so
there hasn't been
great.
much yelling.
Yeah.
Are we still on the screen?
Nope.
No, where are we?
I'm on you.
Oh, just me?
You.
Oh, you're still okay. Well, hello there. Hello. Well, because I'm seeing you walking around, and as he's walking around, I'm like, who's toggling?
Both of you at the same time.
Oh.
Both were talking. I got
Okay.
the split screen, got up, took photos.
Buddy, you had me at split screen. As soon as you said split screen, I was happy. That's funny. Yeah, that's really, really good. I'm really, really happy that we're working with Jira now. It's awesome. Anything else we want to talk about with Jira? I know it's just a test account, but
That's pretty much it. I mean, it really
okay.
does depend, right? Because as I said earlier, every single client has to be treated differently. So that's why we do offer tailored services to what the client needs. So sometimes the workflow does change from time to time, but pretty much that is the basic template.
Are there any of our clients, and I know that you're not involved in every single project, as Ryan does take some projects too off your hands, I believe. Not that I believe, I know. Hi, Ryan. I love you, man. Ryan. Ryan, you're great. Ryan's great. We should have had him here, but where is he?
No,
He's in London? No.
Yeah, he's in London.
He's in London, Ontario.
Yeah, he is.
That's very far from here. You know that?
It's very
really far. That's like really far. If you're in Europe, you could probably hit 2-3 countries in the distance
sure.
you'll travel to London, Ontario.
Oh yeah.
But is there any clients that we work with that have their own Jira install and they invite us to their account?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How is it when that happens? Do you ever go there and they say, "Oh my gosh, they have Jira, but it's a mess"?
It really does depend. It has happened before, but everyone kind of just deals different, and like that's what I mean. Jira is very adaptable to your needs.
Okay.
So yes, sometimes it is a mess, but then we try to work with them to adapt to their operations, because sometimes their workflow is really thought through. It doesn't necessarily make sense to us, but it makes sense to them. And that's simply, you hire us because you need someone that is you can just plug in, add into your team, and start working right away. So we do ask questions, and that's why communication is super important with our clients too, especially at the beginning when we have to get the ball rolling. But yeah, so just to answer your questions, some clients has been messy, some others has been very clean. But the way that we manage that, because we still need to log our time into our Jira so we can send the time log reports.
Okay.
So when this happens, our devs just lives into our client's Jira's account.
Okay.
And they will have to go in, log their time the same kind of way, but the workflow will be reduced to do in progress and done.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Okay, got it. So if they're working in the client's Jira account, they'll work according to the way that the client wants, but they'll copy paste what they do in our Jira on a basic level,
there you go.
just so we can get the time log reports and the invoices out, because we invoice from here too, right?
I believe we invoice from there as well.
Well,
I mean, we're getting there.
We're working on the extension, right?
Yeah.
I think Karina's doing it manually now.
Yeah.
Hi, Karina. How you doing? You're the best. I love you. I mean, I really like you. I'm sorry. You're doing a great job. All right. Cut that out, all right? Edit that part out. All right. Thank God we're not live. Okay, so that's cool. Now, let me ask a question, because I know we have a policy here that if a new client is not working following industry standards, which is kind of rare now because we sort of attract not well, we do attract a mom and pop sometimes, but it's more of a company level with a CTO that's in house and type of thing. But I know that we as a company say, okay, if we're going to work with you, first of all, we're very, very grateful to get every client we have, and in every potential client we have, we love you too. But if someone's not set up properly, it's often more beneficial just to either say, okay, we need to set up to industry standards or we won't work with you. And not in a mean way. It's just like, if you give someone keys to a car to drive across the country, you want to make sure there's gas in the car or oil change that's working properly. That's kind of like what we do at the beginning of a relationship. Let's say that a rare occurrence, someone's not set up on Jira. They're using email. They don't have a code repo. They don't have version control set up properly. How long does it take to set this up? Just in broad terms, like how is it months? Is it weeks?
It's actually fairly quick.
It's fairly quick. That's the thing that blows my mind. But if you don't know how to do it, I guess it's different.
It is, everyone is different, but generally a couple of days and everything is fine.
A couple of days and we're following industry standards when it comes to Git repository, version control. I'm not sure if that's the same thing, but
it is.
It is? Okay.
It's all right.
No one ever corrects me here, by the way. I can say anything. Oh, that
or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Well, now you're making me doubt.
Two non-devs talking about version control and GitHub and GitLab and Johnson rods.
There was a question in the comments.
Yeah. Well, no questions. We're not taking any questions. Go ahead. Sorry.
So the question was, are you using a card system like Asana? Do you like working with it? I found it hard to link cards with Git.
Did you say a card system or a cart system?
Using a card system like Asana, and like what you see here on the screen, like I guess he's talking about these cards.
Yeah. So Asana is another project management tool, which is pretty great.
Yeah, I've heard about Asana.
Yeah, and it's kind of the same model as Jira, where you have a big task and then you can have child issues, like adding task within a task.
Yeah.
As for the connection to Git, I don't know. I can't comment on that because I don't know if Asana has that capability or not. But yes, we are using Jira as our carding system, and it is linked to our Git repository.
Okay.
And then you just commented Trello, Asana, those kind of project management tools.
Yeah, we're using Jira for that.
Nice. Maybe if it is a little bit of a technical question, maybe one of our developers that are watching can.
They probably can
answer.
help out because I don't
You can
know.
call out somebody.
Well, I don't know who's watching. I don't know who's watching. No, not David again, man. David, I love you, man.
Love you, man.
I mean, I like you. You're doing a great job. I think David's going to France soon. Yeah, that's cool. He hasn't. So we've got I don't know how many employees we have that are actually from France. Maybe about 5 or 6, and a lot of them have not been back to France since COVID. So they're starting to go now.
Yeah.
They're starting to go on vacation now.
One by one.
Yeah, one by one, which is great. Which is cool. I don't blame them. France is beautiful. A lot of French people there. So.
You didn't know that already.
Yes.
That's true.
I am aware. Do you speak French?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, my first name is Virginie.
Virginie, I know. It's kind of a
it's very French.
But you're born and raised in Montreal? No.
I was born in Saint-Jean-Port-Joli, which is about an hour away from Quebec. So it's like, it's like in a very, very small village.
Say the name of the village again?
Saint-Jean-Port-Joli.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we get it on the? Do you mind if we look at it, Kyler?
How do I spell?
Yeah. Good luck. Good
How
luck.
do I?
Okay, so it's ST
ST.
dash
ST.
yeah dash
Which is another word.
JEAN dash. See, it's at the bottom there.
I don't
Yeah,
think you.
Saint-Jean.
Oh,
Yeah,
Saint
the
Jean,
fourth
Port
one.
Joli.
Yeah.
No.
The fourth
Here.
one.
Here.
The fourth one?
Yeah, the fourth one down. Yeah.
Okay. Click on the map. On the right. Okay. Oh, okay. Now zoom out so we can see where we are here.
Yeah, it's close to Maine.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
It must be beautiful there, right on the St. Lawrence River.
Yeah, it is very nice.
Wow.
Just like zoom out.
You're such a tourist, man. You got to start learning where you are, bro. Where are we?
Hey, I'm not from New
We're in Montreal, man. Come on. You ever hear of Montreal?
What's that?
Jeez. So, okay, why was I asking you where you're from? Oh, yeah, we were saying
French
speak French.
people.
Yeah, but you actually lived abroad for a few years,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I lived in Australia for 7 years. Yeah.
I still hear, how many years?
7.
Okay,
Yeah.
I still hear that a little bit of a hint of Australian accent.
Yeah,
You have the most
sometimes.
interesting accent.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. Yeah, I learned how to speak English in Australia, so that's why I have a little bit of an Australian accent. Because when I
You learned how to speak English in Australia? So when you went
Yeah.
there, you didn't speak English?
I
Oh, no,
didn't.
why would you speak English? Because you're from Saint Jean
yeah,
de
and when I
Bourgeois?
moved to Montreal, I didn't speak English. I was able to
Oh,
understand
wow.
it, but I wasn't
Yeah,
able to speak
yeah.
it. So I just sent myself to the other side of the world. And when I got there, I didn't have a choice but to learn how to speak English. So
Yeah.
I remember getting my first job, and my boss was so nice at that time. I was working
Okay.
in hotels, so yeah, I
Nice.
was blessed. Like I learned a lot of people that were extremely helpful. So I learned how to speak rather quickly. But yeah, I was traveling alone as well. So
That's a heck of a way to learn English in
Oh,
Australia
yeah.
because they've got that amazing accent, eh?
yeah, it was really hardcore at the beginning, but
Yeah.
it worked out.
All right. Cool. Very cool. Can we go back to the Jira board now that we? Anything else you want to talk about regarding Jira before we move on to a potentially brand new subject that you have no idea, and neither do I. I don't know what it is either.
I think that we've covered it all.
Mm-hmm.
This is a great service that we offer to our clients, and we can't live without it now. It's been so helpful, and not only helpful to our clients but to our devs. So yeah,
Nice.
nothing else to add, but great.
Do you ever have a client that, for example, doesn't even want to look at Jira? They're like, okay, you can use Jira if you want. I hear it's great, but I don't have the bandwidth to take on another platform. Like I'm already on, I don't know.
Well, the majority of our clients, we're dealing with C-levels and founders of companies. So with them, it's easier to kind of just meet with them like once a week or bi-weekly. Okay, this is where we're at. This is what's happening. And they're like, okay, great. That's awesome. And they don't even want to look.
Oh,
at
they
you.
don't even want to
No.
look at the roadmap or anything
No.
like that? So it's more like an internal thing for their developers, our developers. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So we don't have to like oblige people to learn anything or take on yet another platform, because a lot of people have their
So if
plates
they-
full.
Yeah. So if they don't want to, have access to Jira, we find other ways to keep them updated. So
Oh, yeah.
so meetings or like emails,
Yeah.
I try to avoid them, but it's usually quick calls. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Do you have a favorite client? Without mentioning any names, do you have a favorite client?
I do have many favorite clients.
Good answer. What is the top 2 things that would make someone be in that favorite client list? I'm only asking you for 2 things. Normally I ask for 3. Only 2 today.
Well, first of all, I like clients that are nice because kindness is cool. And then we can only move forward if everyone is happy and if everyone's in for the same goal and we're all working together. So
Okay.
that is a number one thing.
So number one, they have to have a nice,
Yeah,
open
exactly.
attitude,
That's right.
spirit.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is number one. And number
Okay.
two is to be available when needed.
Oh, really? That's number two.
Yeah.
To be available when needed.
Yeah. And what I mean is it's not necessarily when we're blocked. It's when you have to test, when we ask you a question, and if we have a question about a feature that we are working on, because sometimes, we'll be working on something for a few hours and we're like, oh, this is missing. So I need to be able to reach out to you quickly so I can get that answer quickly so the developer is just, can continue working. So it does happen sometimes. And that's why
Okay.
we need everyone to be available.
Yeah. So it must happen that, you need the client to test, and it may take the client an hour or two, and sometimes that's hard to come by, right?
Yeah, but it's great because we do onboard our clients and set the expectations right from the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of majority of them they're on top of it. So
Okay, nice.
so that's
good.
why I have many favorite clients.
Yeah. Okay.
We're very 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 lucky and so grateful to have everyone that we're working with, because all of our clients are different. So a day from another is never the same. So that's why it's great.
Nice. I find that every client starts off nice, great attitude, and it's ours to kind of ruin or keep, right?
Yeah.
I've seen that before. That's one thing about Americans, because most of our clients are in the U.S., and that's one thing about Americans I find.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm generalizing, but they're always so open and nice and collaborative and awesome until you piss them off.
Yeah, but
I don't mean
piss them off.
Yeah. Well, that's the key, right? That's the key.
Yeah.
Because so basically, what I'm saying is that nice, awesome attitude, almost like 99% or 100% of the time, starts there.
Yeah.
And if it gets derailed, normally there's a reason why it gets derailed.
Yeah, and that's why that's my role, and it's Ryan's role as well, to be able to see at what's coming and to be able to see potential red flags that are starting to pop up.
Yeah.
So our goal is to avoid surprises at any cost, because our client relationships are super important. And when we see that something could potentially become a problem, we address it before it becomes a problem. So that's kind of how we're able to work. And our clients are so grateful that we're doing that too, because they don't want to spend a day freaking out or be stressed about something that's happening with their projects. So so as I said earlier, communication and transparency is super important to us, and we live by that.
Sweet. How can you tell me how often a developer is communicated with on your level or on Ryan's level? Example, if you have this developer on this project and it's a staff augmentation, it's just going 40 hours a week. How often is that individual developer communicated with on your level or Ryan's?
Yeah, so it kind of, again, it all depends, but generally, so just to give you a little bit of insight, so I'm more looking after all the budgets, timelines, high level stuff, client communication, and Ryan is dealing with the developer, where he's just dealing with the day-to-day, talking to majority of our developers every day.
Every day, right?
Every day.
Okay, so Ryan's background also, he's a developer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Yeah.
You know how important it is to have a developer in the mix? It's pretty important, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, because they can relate to each other.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah. And so Ryan will, some of our guys and some staff augmentations, because they're just addition to a development team, we don't need to speak to them every day because they have their own project managers. They have their own everything. So we still keep in touch once, if I'm not talking to that dev, Ryan will be talking to that dev during the week or every second week. So we're in constant communication. We don't let anything, we don't not speak to someone for over 2 weeks. That's for sure.
So that makes sense. So if we have a developer that's working on a project that has its own CTO or its own lead developer, then it's not really necessary to check up.
Not to check up,
Daily.
but it's important for us to check up, just to be like,
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know.
it doesn't have to be daily, but
No.
it could be every couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super
Yeah,
important.
and I mean, it's also for a company culture too. We're a remote company now, so
Yeah.
we need to keep that connection with all of our devs. And then sometimes sometimes we talk about the project, and then sometimes you'll just call someone and they're gonna go through some stuff. So
Yeah.
we have that. It's important to cultivate that relationships with everyone. And I know it's tacky, because all the companies say that we're a family, but
Yeah.
for us, we are a little family. We're all brothers and sisters, and we.
Are you the mom?
I am the mom. I am the lucky mom. Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I should ask that question, but I said, okay, I'm going to go for it. I'm glad you reacted that way.
Yes. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's
So
cool.
that's why it's very important to talk to all of my little kittens often. So sometimes it's business related, and sometimes it's just like, hey, how's your cat doing? Oh,
Yeah.
cat's doing great.
Yeah.
Just to keep that relationship.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so that what do you do if you have a developer on a project
Yeah.
that just hates it and he or she says, you know what, V, I'm glad you called me today. I don't think I can handle this project anymore. I hate it. I didn't come to SimplyPHP to work on this type of, project.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Oh, I will sigh first because I'll be like, but it does happen. Sometimes a developer is not the right fit for a certain project, or sometimes they go through, dry, where the workload is not as heavy as it used to be, and they kind of just want to, they want to change. So first of all, I talk it out and I mean, that's a little bit, that's also a gray area, because if a dev has been working on a project for 2 years and then now they want to change, well, I want to know what is the reason for that change, because
And it's a legit request too. So if you've been working on a project for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, because we have employees here that have been here for like 11 years, 10 years, 8 years, and some of them have been on same projects for a while.
yeah,
It's legit. I think that would be easier. So if someone's been on a project for 2 or 3 years and raises their hand and said, you know what, I think I'm ready to move on to another project in
Yeah.
SimplyPHP, that's
Yeah.
kind of legit.
yeah.
And the project might actually need an infusion of new energy, right?
Yes, because we've seen that.
So so that's probably easier, and we transition openly with the client, and we work together,
yeah,
and
we plan ahead, because
Yeah.
there's a lot of business knowledge there as well that is
Yeah.
important to do a knowledge transfer on.
yeah,
But then, I will try to understand why they want to change. And then sometimes, sometimes I can convince them to stay, because sometimes it's just like their reason is not valid, or they were just bored or something.
or having a bad day.
Exactly. So
Okay.
I have managed to rescue, not rescue, but kind of just put people back into, the right mindset.
Nice.
And then some other time, when it's not the right fit, it's not the right fit. So
Yeah.
it's conversation with you, it's conversation with the client, and what do we do here? So we look into our developers that are available, because sometimes, if we don't have anyone available, which sometimes do happen, we need to find the right fit. So why was this developer not the right fit? And we make sure that we're not, and then we'll replace someone we'll be able to fill in their shoes and provide better service, because sometimes it does happen that
Yeah.
developers don't like it, or they just don't necessarily understand a certain technology, and they don't enjoy working with it, because majority of our developers will be really willing to learn a new technology, but some are not, and we respect that.
Yeah.
So we work hard on keeping our employees happy. So it's all about communication and reviewing who's available, and making and working with the clients as well. The clients is very important for us to involve them in the process. So that's what I would do.
Okay, that makes sense. So I think I'm maybe the last. I don't know what time it is.
It's
I forgot we both forgot our Apple Watches.
108, so it's just like
It's 108. Okay, I wanna ask. Is there still people watching?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Hi.
I wanna ask. So I asked you if you had a favorite client and the top two reasons why.
Yeah.
So this is kind of different. Do you have a favorite project? And you can use any project, whether it's new, old. So do you have a favorite project?
I do.
You do?
Yeah, I do.
Wow. And what makes it your favorite project?
It's really planned beautifully. So
Oh, it's planned beautifully.
it's just work of art. So
Really?
yeah.
What do you mean? How is it planned beautifully? Like the client has it planned beautifully, or the client just lets you plan it beautifully? Like,
The client let us plan it beautifully, and they're kind
Wow.
of just in the background, just in terms, okay, hey, we're at this many hours. Okay, yeah, that's great. And they kind of just trust us fully. So that because we're kind
Wow,
of
okay.
rebuilding their old platform, the same thing. Nothing has changed. It's just we're kind of rebuilding on fresh, technology.
yeah.
And yeah, we follow our roadmaps and touching wood, but we haven't faced any roadblocks or anything like that. So rarely I have seen a project
It's going so well.
smoothly. So
Okay.
I'm waiting for the day that
No.
so yeah, no, it's really well planned. We know where we're going, and because we do not have any roadblocks, everything kind of just goes like a warm knife in butter. So
Wow.
yeah, it's very, very nice. And the client
I'm
is
trying to think of who this client could be. All right.
and this client is very, and as I said, like they're macro managers. They just
Okay,
want to know
nice.
where we're at, and they have the roadmap. They know where we're at, and yeah, so
All
it's
right.
great.
Are they logged into Jira, or you have to send them like weekly screenshots and stuff like that?
No, they're not logged in because I
Okay.
don't think they want to log in. But we meet with their developers every week.
Okay,
So.
meet with the
So, Vee,
developers.
is there any advice you can give for clients to have a smoother project? Like anything you can maybe share with them
Ooh, yeah.
with this project that you have in mind?
Sorry, say that again because I didn't hear
Yeah,
because
no
of the.
worries. So we want to give advice to some clients who maybe haven't had always a smooth project. They start
yeah.
working with us. What can they do on their end to have a smoother project? Is there anything we can do?
Listen to V.
Yes, and I mean to all. I think that majority of developers out there will back me up on this. We know that you have many, many great ideas. And we want to deliver on all of these great ideas. But when we agree on a set, a set of requirements, to try not to change all of the requirements at the same time. Because what happens is what was so clear and so well planned out becomes just a glass of water on table, and it just becomes
Really?
very
Yeah.
hard to manage, and because it becomes so scattered that it makes it very hard for us to follow and to deliver, because sometimes you'll be working on something and then this is a new requirements, and then the requirements change a few times, and then the client will still will come back to us and say, well, why is this feature not ready yet? It's because we had to change this feature 3 times, and then we didn't have time to split ourselves in half and just to work on, on the other features. So I think that in order to have a software development project to stay in line and to stay, within estimates, or so we can to stay as close to our estimates as we have provided, because it does happen that we go over the estimates, and then sometimes we go less than what we estimated.
Okay.
But in order to keep it well planned out and in line, not to change requirements a few times and change priorities all the time. Just trust us.
What causes a client to change requirements and change the other word you used? Like what causes that? Is that because they see some deliverables and they say, yeah, you know what, that makes me think of we should do it this way, and then they change the whole plan?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then sometimes their business, because when we work with bigger companies as well, which now we do, their priorities as well for their stakeholders change too.
Oh, they change in the weekly boardroom meeting. They're
That
like,
is exactly right.
yeah.
So it's just like,
Yeah.
okay, well, and then after that, 3 months down the line, we are asked, why was this requirement not worked on that I asked you 3 months ago?
Oh,
And
okay.
it's because all of these requirements each week, priorities each week changed all the time. And then this requirement just wasn't part of those priorities.
Oh, okay. So basically, we can be flexible enough to change paths.
Yeah.
However, it does have some implications. So
It really does.
which is normal.
Yeah,
right?
and that's why we try to, we communicate that. When we communicate those changes to our clients. And sometimes for smaller clients as well, like they don't have many stakeholders. So it's just like our clients are super creative. So they have all of these great ideas that they want to
I
see
get
come
that.
to life. And
Yeah.
it's normal. It's your application is your business. It's like, it's your store, right? That you put your keys in the door and you go into every day. So you want to put a new poster there and build a new cash register and all of these crazy things. But sometimes these requirements are not thought through, and then we are pressured to move forward and build it. But then after a couple of weeks down the road, we shouldn't have. No, let's not do this anymore. Or that's not what I had in mind. Or they kind of just always. Or they see it come to life, and they're like, "Oh, we should do this. We should do that. We should do this. We should do that."
Yeah, I get it.
And then 3 months down the line, it took us 3 months to build it. And even though we communicate that and we're very clear, hey, this has changed again. Sometimes,
Yeah, it's hard to get around that because we're flexible, but the communication is key, right?
Communication is key, and that's the reason why, I'm part of, we have 2 project managers now where I am more on a high level basis, because when you're stuck in the day-to-day, right, is hard to pinpoint when this happens.
Yeah.
But when I'm, coming in the project, we talk about all the projects every day, but sometimes I'm like, hey, we've been working on this for 2 weeks. Is that normal? Oh, and then we click, oh yeah, oh my God, okay, yeah, that's 2 weeks. And then we check with the clients, hey, it's been 2 weeks now. Oh yeah, that's fine. Yeah, continue working on that. So we have to go ahead, but we try not to leave it slide for 2 weeks. But this is just like an example that could happen.
Okay.
So flexibility, communication. I'm just trying to. What else did you say there?
So if you have a new requirement too, think about it for a few weeks. And then once it's clear in your head and it fits really well into your business operations, then we can talk about it. But there's a spot in Jira for ideas that is called backlog, where you can create a ticket.
Back to Jira, ladies and gentlemen.
Jira, where you create an issue in the backlog.
Create issue, Kyler?
Yeah, just at the bottom there. And then you kind of just create a ticket, and it's in the backlog. So
for Kyler, we would write study a map of the province of Quebec,
yes,
where I now live, and then we'll assign it to him.
And you can start gathering your ideas there, and then we can revisit that when the time comes.
Okay. Awesome. So, hey, I want to talk about our giving back program. I want to talk about how important it is to have full-time sysadmins on our staff. But I want to talk about this next time.
Yeah.
Because I'm a little bit tired. And it's been over an hour. All right, Kyler. So we're gonna go. I'm good. I'm good to end it here. I think this was amazing. Vee, we got to do this. You know what? You should come to the office every couple weeks.
Yeah.
Or every week.
Every
and then we can have a live every couple weeks and just riff and talk about what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll call it Vivi and Toto.
Vivi and Toto. I like
or
it.
Or Antonio.
I didn't know if I was allowed to.
Yeah. That's, she told me every time I call her Vivi, she's going to call me Antonio.
That's right. Yeah.
So I don't call her Vivi that often. All right, everybody. Hey, Kyler.
Yes.
Do you have anything to say? We're ready to sign off. So do you have anything to say before we leave?
Nothing to say, but thank you all for watching and tuning in. This was awesome, and can't wait to see you guys next time.
Yeah, that's what I meant. That's what I wanted to hear. Thank you,
Thank
buddy.
you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for
Bye.
tuning in. Remember, simplyphp.com. Call us. You could talk to Vee.
You can talk to me.